afternoon. As we decorate ourselves using jewelry, in the similar manner, we decorate language using figures of speech. Figures of speech are very important for the students of standard 9 to 12 because they nearly have 4 marks weightage in examination. So, let us study figures of speech today. The first figure of speech is alliteration, the easiest one. Repetition of a consonant sound in a single sentence is known as alliteration. Here we don't have anything to do with the spellings and all. We just have to see the sound. Here the sound T is repeated in terrific, tiger and trembled. I repeat, sound T or sound T is repeated in terrific, tiger and trembled. The next figure of speech is assonance. Assonance is the repetition of a vowel sound in sentence. Example is, only Oliver officially denied it. Here we don't have to do anything with the spellings. Here the sound O is important. O in only, Oliver and officially. The next figure of speech is very clear by its name, repetition. Repetition of a word in sentence more than once. Example is see, I got it. Here see is repeated twice. Another example is look, the spring has come. The next figure of speech is interrogation. Interrogation, the question mark itself makes the figure of speech very clear. The sentence of poetry containing a question mark is described as interrogation. For example, how shall I forget it? Let us move on to the next figure of speech. The next figure of speech is interjection. Usage of interjections like oh, ah, alas, bravo and so on is described as interjection. Example is alas, we lost. The next figure of speech is exclamation. The usage of exclamatory mark in a poetic line can be described as exclamation. Example is how smart she is. The next figure of speech is inversion, usually known as anastrophe. Here the poet takes advantage by making change in word order. The example is unprotected was he. Actually, the original word order should be he was unprotected. It is usually done by the poet to create a rhyming effect in the poetry. The next figure of speech is onomatopoeia. I repeat, the next figure of speech is onomatopoeia. It describes any sound in the world. Example, rustling leaves, barking dogs, cackling geese, gurgling stream, thundering clouds and so on. Hyperbole. The next figure of speech is hyperbole. Hyperbole is an overstatement, the exaggeration of ideas. Example is very clear, a million thanks. I would like to give you an example from the famous play of Shakespeare, Macbeth. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. The next figure of speech is litotes. Litotes describes the usage of negations to express positive ideas. He is not a mean preacher describes his greatness. Another example is I shall never forget the favor done by you, meaning that I'll always remember the favor done by you. Pun is a tricky figure of speech. It is describing a single word in a poetic line which has more than one meaning in a single sentence. Example is don't use your arms much. Here arms indicate the body part as well as ammunitions and weapons. The next figure of speech is antithesis. The usage of two contradictory ideas in a single statement is antithesis. Example, life is both bitter and sweet. Two antonyms, bitter and sweet, are used in a single line. The next figure of speech is oxymoron. Oxymoron is a special kind of antithesis in which the antithetical ideas are togetherly used in a line. For example, life is a bittersweet. Compare, children, you can compare antithesis and oxymoron. See, bitter and sweet. Life is a bittersweet. The next figure of speech is tautology. Usage of similar ideas more than once in a single sentence is tautology. Example is, lazy and lethargic people do not succeed. Here, lazy and lethargic have the similar meaning. One more example I would give, dark and black clouds appeared in the sky. The next figure of speech is euphemism. Expression of harsh ideas in a mild manner is euphemism. Example, he won't get up now, describes the death of a person. The lion carried deer palanquin. Deer palanquin describes the carcass of a deer, the dead body of a deer. Let us move on to another figure of speech. It is climax. You understand, climax is a very common word. Expression of ideas in ascending order of importance. Example is, I laugh, I sing, but finally I dance for joy. So dancing is most important for poet to achieve joy. The figure of speech very opposite to climax, the previous one, is anticlimax. The word itself makes the meaning very clear. It is expression of ideas in descending manner of importance. Example makes it very clear. He lost his wife, no cry. He lost his son, no cry. He lost his wealth, no cry. He lost his watch and tears came like storm. It describes the travel of poet from top to bottom. Top to bottom, I say. The next figure of speech is simile. Simile is comparison between two unlike objects or ideas which have at least one point in common. Example is, he is radiant as a star. The common point is brightness. He has brightness. Brightness here is intelligence. The next figure of speech is metaphor. Metaphor is implied simile. We use the words without using as or like to describe a metaphor, whereas simile is described using the words, the comparative words as or like. So metaphor is known as implied simile. He is a radiant star. Here we called the person radiant as a star, but here we give the name to the person, the radiant star. The last figure of speech I am going to describe you is personification. Personification is to give human attribute to abstract and non-living ideas. For example, death lays its icy hands on kings. Death, which is an abstract idea, is described to have hands. So, I hope you understood the figures of speech. Once you understand them, you can solve any lines figure of speech very easily. Thanks.